My friends, what if I told you that one single night could alter the course of your entire financial destiny? What if the words you whisper before you sleep carry the power to summon opportunities, to attract resources, and to unlock wealth you never imagined? Tonight is not just another night. It is a divine appointment with your future. Every affirmation you speak is a seed, and the night is the soil where it grows unseen. But here is the question: are you planting the right seeds, or are you letting the silence of fear rob you of your harvest? The hidden power of words that shape wealth is one of the most underestimated forces in our lives. From the very beginning of creation, everything we see, everything we touch, everything we benefit from was first spoken into existence. Words are not sounds. They are containers of power. They carry the ability to create or to destroy, to build or to break, to multiply or to diminish. When you open your mouth, you are not just talking, you are releasing spiritual energy into the atmosphere, energy that will return to you in the form you declared. Many people pray for money, they work hard for money, they chase after money, yet they overlook the foundation, what they say about money. Listen carefully. Your financial life is the harvest of your verbal seeds. When you constantly declare, "I am broke," you are watering the soil of lack. When you say, "I can't afford that," you are signing a contract with poverty. But when you speak life, when you declare, "Wealth flows into my life, opportunities are attracted to me, I am favored for increase," those words are written into the blueprint of your future. You see, the wealthy think differently, but more importantly, they speak differently. They understand that words create mental pictures, and mental pictures create expectations, and expectations create manifestations. Your words set the thermostat of your financial climate. If your words are filled with fear, your climate will freeze. If your words are filled with faith, your climate will bloom. And let me remind you, this principle works whether you believe in it or not. The law of gravity does not need your faith to pull you down, and the law of words does not need your faith to manifest what you release. That's why you must guard your mouth with more diligence than you guard your wallet, because the mouth is the key that opens the vault. Tonight, before you close your eyes, you must ask yourself, what words will I plant into the soil of my sleep? Will I repeat the curses of the day, complaining, murmuring, doubting? Or will I plant affirmations of wealth, of abundance, of supernatural provision? Because the night is the silent workshop of your future, and your words are the workers that labor while you rest. So speak wisely, speak boldly, speak wealth into your atmosphere. Do not let your own tongue build walls around your prosperity. For if words can shape the world you live in, then surely they can shape the wealth you long to experience. But here's the mystery. Why is the IGHT so critical for these affirmations? Why does the timing of your words matter just as much as the words themselves? That is where we are going next. Why nighttime? Why is this hour called heaven's most silent treasure hour? Because the night is not just the absence of light, it is the realm of rest, the realm of stillness, the realm where distractions are silenced and the spirit becomes more sensitive. In the daytime, the noise of the world drowns your inner voice, the worries of bills, of work, of responsibilities. They compete for your attention. But when night falls, heaven leans in closer, because the earth has quieted. It is in this quiet that affirmations carry the greatest weight. The night is the time when the mind is no longer racing, when the body surrenders, and the spirit begins to dominate. Do you know why dreams happen in the night? It is because your spirit is wide awake while your body sleeps. And in that state, the words you have spoken become the raw material your subconscious uses to build tomorrow. Every phrase, every affirmation, every declaration spoken before rest travels deeper than your conscious thought. It goes straight into your inner programming. That is why many people wake up with the same struggles they went to bed with, because their last words before sleep were words of worry, words of lack, words of fear. They carried poverty into their pillow and woke up with the same poverty in their hands. But if you decide tonight that your last words before rest will be affirmations of abundance, if you declare, wealth is attracted to me, resources are chasing after me, doors are opening for me, then your spirit will labor while you sleep to bring that reality into being. The night is not empty, it is pregnant with potential. In the silence, heaven releases whispers, instructions, ideas, strategies. Many of the world's greatest innovations, the most powerful business ideas, the most life-changing revelations were received in the quiet of the night. This is why you cannot treat nighttime as casual. It is an appointment with destiny. So I ask you tonight, what are you doing with your treasure hours? Are you wasting them scrolling, complaining, worrying? Or are you using them as a divine bank, depositing affirmations that will yield interest by the morning? Because in the night, there are no competitors, no distractions, no interruptions. Only you, your words, and the Creator who listens. The night is heaven's most silent treasure hour, but only those who understand its value will unlock its wealth. So guard your last words before sleep, for they are keys to your unseen inheritance. But here's the secret. Words are not just affirmations. They are currency. Did you know that faith itself operates as the language of wealth, and how you spend it determines what returns to you? That is where we journey next. Faith is a currency, and affirmations are how you spend it. Every time you open your mouth, you are making a transaction in the unseen world. Words backed with faith are like signed checks in the spiritual economy. When you speak them with conviction, heaven stamps them as approved, and the manifestation begins its journey into your life. But when you speak without faith, when you speak doubt, when you declare lack, you are also authorizing poverty to transact on your behalf. Affirmations are not just positive thinking, they are spiritual agreements. When you say, I am blessed, you are not wishing, you are signing a contract with blessing. When you say, money flows into my life easily, you are placing an order in the warehouse of abundance. And when you repeat these affirmations, night after night, they begin to saturate your subconscious until your actions, your thoughts, your decisions align with the wealth you have declared. Why do so many people remain stuck? Because they cancel their affirmations with their contradictions. They declare abundance at night, then speak lack in the morning. They affirm wealth before bed, but by noon they are saying, I can't afford this. Remember, the spiritual realm is always listening, always recording, always responding. Every word counts, every affirmation counts, every declaration counts. That is why you must be consistent, unshaken, unwavering in your affirmations, because your faith is being measured not just by what you say, but by how often you say it and how firmly you believe it. Faith makes your affirmations legal. Without faith, your words are empty noise, but with faith, your words carry authority. They summon resources, they magnetize opportunities, they shift environments. Do you not see? Every wealthy person carries a confidence, a certainty, a belief that what they say will come to pass. That certainty is faith in action. And here is the power of nighttime affirmations at night. Your faith bypasses the noise of doubt. The mind is quieter, the spirit is louder, and your words travel faster, deeper, stronger. In that stillness, faith ignites your affirmations like fire touching dry wood. Suddenly, the unseen responds, and what you declared begins to take shape. So ask yourself tonight, what are you spending your faith on? Are you wasting it on fear, or are you investing it in wealth? Are your affirmations aligning with your destiny, or are they contradicting the life you desire? For faith is always working, whether for you or against you, and your affirmations are the evidence of where you have invested it. But listen carefully. If words are currency and affirmations are transactions, then where does true wealth actually begin? Is it in your wallet, or is it somewhere much deeper? That is the revelation waiting for us next. The law of attraction is not just a theory. It is a divine principle woven into the fabric of creation. What you focus on, you attract. What you meditate on, you magnetize. And the language of this law is not wishful thinking. It is the language of the Spirit. Your spirit does not respond to complaints. It responds to declarations. Your future does not answer to fear. It answers to faith-filled words. When you speak affirmations, you are giving your spirit clear instructions on what to pursue, what to bring back, and what to manifest. Think about it. When you constantly say, "I never have enough," you are not describing your reality. You are prescribing it. You are programming your spirit to search for evidence of lack. But when you boldly declare, "I live in abundance, wealth flows to me, resources are attracted to me," your spirit receives that command and begins pulling every opportunity, every connection, every resource that matches those words. The law of attraction is not mystical. It is spiritual alignment. Your words are frequencies. Every sound you release carries a vibration that matches something in the unseen world. Negative words align you with negative outcomes. Positive affirmations align you with abundant outcomes. That is why the wealthy are careful about their language. They do not speak in terms of limitation. They speak in terms of possibility. Their affirmations create an atmosphere where wealth feels welcome, where prosperity feels at home. And here is the mystery. Your affirmations do not just attract money. They attract ideas. They attract relationships. They attract opportunities that money alone cannot buy. A single affirmation can open a door that was locked for years. A single declaration can connect you with someone who holds the key to your next level. This is the power of the Spirit's language. It goes beyond paper currency. It translates into favor, influence, creativity, and supernatural acceleration. But notice attraction works both ways. If your mouth is filled with bitterness, you will attract more reasons to be bitter. If your tongue is filled with fear, you will draw circumstances that feed your fear. If your affirmations are soaked in doubt, you will find yourself surrounded by more proof to doubt. That is why you must train your mouth to speak only what you want to see, never what you fear to see. So, when you lay your head down at night, remember you are programming the law of attraction. You are setting instructions for your spirit to follow. And the more consistent your affirmations, the stronger your attraction becomes. Say it once and it begins. Say it continually and it manifests. But let me ask you this. If affirmations can attract wealth, then where does wealth actually begin before it appears in your hand? Is it first financial, or is it something that starts deep within your mind? That is the doorway we will open next. Wealth begins in the mind long before it appears in the hand. If your mind is poor, your wallet will follow. If your thoughts are limited, your resources will always be limited. Everything you see in the physical world is the fruit of an invisible thought that was first planted in the mind. A building was once a thought, a business was once an idea, a fortune was once a vision. This is why affirmations are so critical, because they do not just change your words, they reshape your thinking. Your mind is the soil, and your affirmations are the seeds. If you fill your soil with weeds of fear, doubt, and negativity, then no matter how much money passes through your hands, it will vanish because the soil cannot sustain growth. But if you fill your mind with affirmations of abundance, creativity, and opportunity, then your soil becomes fertile for wealth to grow. The difference between the rich and the poor is not only what they possess, it is what they think about themselves and what they say about their future. Let me ask you, how do you see yourself? Do you see yourself as a struggler, barely surviving, always behind? Or do you see yourself as one chosen to create, to multiply, to expand, to overflow? Your affirmations are painting pictures in your mind every single day. If you keep declaring, I am prosperous, I am increasing, I am favored, eventually your mind begins to accept it as reality, and once the mind accepts it, your life begins to arrange itself to match it. This is why the most dangerous poverty is not financial, it is mental. A man can lose money and rise again if his mind is wealthy, but if his mind is poor, even if you give him money, he will lose it. Wealth is first an inner reality before it becomes an outer possession. That's why affirmations work. They reprogram the inner reality so that outer possessions can find a place to rest. And remember, money is attracted to order. If your mind is disorganized, fearful, and full of scarcity, money will run from you. But when your thoughts are structured, confident, and aligned with abundance, resources will flow towards you. Nighttime affirmations give you the chance to plant the right images before your spirit works through the night. You are literally renewing your mind while you sleep. So wealth is not something you chase, it is something you become. Once your mind is wealthy, your hands cannot stay empty. Once your thoughts are prosperous, your life cannot remain poor. But here is the question. If wealth begins in the mind, what happens when the mind is blocked by generational patterns, by inherited fears, by financial curses passed down? Can affirmations break those barriers? That is the revelation we are about to uncover next. Generational blocks are real and they are powerful. Many people are not struggling because they are lazy or because they lack skill. They are struggling because they are carrying patterns that were handed down to them without their permission. Poverty is not only in the pocket, it is in the mindset, it is in the belief system. It is in the words that families have repeated for generations. If your parents said, "We can't afford this," and their parents said the same, then that cycle is already shaping the way you think, the way you expect, and even the way you speak about money. But here is the good news. Cycles can be broken. And one of the most powerful tools for breaking them is the consistency of affirmations. Every time you speak abundance into your atmosphere, you are cutting through layers of generational limitation. Every declaration of wealth is a hammer against the walls that were built around your family's financial destiny. When you say, "I will prosper, I will multiply, I will leave an inheritance," you are not just speaking for yourself, you are reprogramming your bloodline. Affirmations are not just about you, they are about the generations after you. You may be the first in your family to speak words of increase, the first to declare abundance, the first to affirm prosperity, and because of your words, the chain of lack is broken. Think about it. One person in a family can shift the entire lineage by changing the language of the household. Instead of repeating, "We can't," you start affirming, "We can." Instead of declaring, "We're always behind," you start declaring, "We are ahead." These affirmations may sound simple, but spiritually they are powerful enough to reset the course of generations. Remember, every curse is carried by words, and every blessing is released by words. That means your affirmations are not small, they are legal decrees in the spiritual court. They cancel out what was spoken against you, and they establish a new order for those who will come after you. But here is the danger. If you do not confront these generational blocks, you will repeat them unknowingly. You will find yourself working hard, yet always returning to the same cycle of lack, the same pattern of debt, the same struggle your parents endured. Affirmations break the cycle because they plant a new belief system into your mind. And once your mind is renewed, your life cannot remain the same. So when you speak at night, remember, you are not only shaping your future, you are rewriting the future of your children and your children's children. Wealth is not just about what you earn, it is about what you pass down. But let me ask you, if affirmations have the power to break generational blocks, then how much more powerful are they when spoken while the body rests and the spirit is fully awake? That is the next secret we are about to uncover. The night is not just a time to sleep. It is a sacred moment when your spirit is wide awake. While your body rests, your inner man is fully active, working, receiving, and aligning with what you have spoken. That is why nighttime affirmations are not wasted words. They are instructions for your spirit to carry out while you sleep. Your body may be on the bed, but your spirit is laboring in the unseen, arranging, attracting, and manifesting what your mouth declared. This is why your last words before sleep are critical. The words you whisper become the assignments your spirit takes into the night. If you go to bed saying, "I am always broke," then your spirit spends the night reinforcing that poverty. But if you lie down declaring, "Wealth is flowing into my life, favor is chasing me down, abundance is my portion," then your spirit will spend the night establishing pathways for those declarations to become real. Sleep is not an escape, it is an incubator. Even science has discovered that during sleep, the subconscious mind is at work replaying, reprogramming, and storing information. But the spirit goes beyond memory. It creates alignment with what you have declared. That is why the greatest changes in your life are often not seen in the hustle of the day, but in the stillness of the night. You are being reprogrammed while you rest. Do you realize that many breakthroughs happen in dreams? Dreams are often the evidence that your spirit is at work, revealing instructions, exposing opportunities, and confirming what you have been affirming. Some of the most powerful inventions, decisions, and strategies in history were born in the night when the body was sleeping but the spirit was alive. This is why affirmations at night are so powerful. They become the blueprints your spirit uses to build your tomorrow. But here lies the danger. If you leave your night unguarded, if you fill your mind with fear, worry, or negativity before sleep, your spirit will build with the wrong material. You will wake up heavy, tired, and carrying the same struggles as yesterday. That is why you must end every day with intentional affirmations, because they are your final instructions before the spirit goes to work. Imagine this. Every night your spirit stands before you like a servant, asking, "What would you like me to do?" And your words are the orders you give. If you command wealth, your spirit goes to gather wealth. If you command lack, it reinforces lack. Your affirmations are not suggestions. They are commands in the unseen realm. So the night is not passive, it is powerful. And those who learn to reprogram their spirit while they rest will always rise stronger, wealthier, and wiser. But let me ask you this. If your spirit is working with your words, then what happens when those words are in full agreement with divine promises? What happens when heaven itself backs your affirmations? That is where we are going next. There is a divine agreement between words and wealth. Every time you speak, you are making a covenant, either with abundance or with lack. Words are not casual, they are contracts. When you affirm prosperity, you are aligning your life with the laws of increase. When you speak negatively, you are signing an agreement with limitation. This is why the scripture says, life and death are in the power of the tongue, because your tongue is the pen that writes your destiny. Wealth responds to words because words carry authority. Money itself is only a tool, but words are the command that directs that tool. Think about it. When you declare, "I am wealthy, I am increasing, I am multiplying," you are not just motivating yourself, you are summoning wealth to recognize your voice. You are giving permission for doors to open, for opportunities to find you, for favor to surround you. Wealth is attracted to order, and order begins with the alignment of your words. Do you know why many people chase money and never find it? Because their words are chasing it away. They rise early, they work hard, but their language is filled with doubt and limitation. They say, "It never works for me. I always fall short. Nothing ever changes." And those words become spiritual agreements that block increase. You cannot speak against wealth and expect wealth to stay. But when your words honor wealth, when your affirmations align with abundance, then money begins to respond to you. Words are not just vibrations in the air, they are instructions to the unseen. When you affirm wealth, the universe, the angels, the spiritual forces assigned to your destiny begin to move. They align circumstances, shift people, open doors, and rearrange opportunities to match the words you declared. It may not happen instantly, but with consistency, the agreement becomes unbreakable and manifestation becomes inevitable. That is why you must be intentional with your nightly affirmations. Night is when the covenant is sealed. As you lay down and declare, "I attract wealth, I live in abundance. Money flows to me with ease." You are signing documents in the spirit. And once the spirit realm acknowledges your words, the physical realm has no choice but to obey. Your affirmations are literally wealth contracts waiting to be fulfilled. But here is the beauty. When you align your words with divine promises, you are not speaking alone. Heaven itself echoes your affirmations, backing them with authority, with power, with supernatural force. That is why those who speak in agreement with heaven never remain in lack. So ask yourself tonight, what agreements are your words making? Are you unknowingly signing contracts with poverty, or are you boldly establishing a covenant with abundance? But here's the deeper question. If words carry the power to attract wealth, then how do you silence the opposing voice of lack, the inner critic, the fear that tries to cancel your declarations? That is the secret we will unlock next. Silence the voice of lack, because it is louder than you think. That voice whispers in your mind when you look at your bills. It speaks when opportunities appear and you say, "I can't afford this." It shows up when you are about to step forward and convinces you that you are not qualified, not ready, not worthy. The voice of lack is not outside of you. It lives inside, shaped by years of fear, shaped by the experiences of disappointment, shaped by words that others spoke over you. If you do not silence it, that voice will cancel every affirmation you speak. Lack is not just about money, it is about mentality. It tells you there's never enough. Someone else is always ahead. Doors never open for me. But the truth is that voice is lying. Lack is an illusion created by fear, and fear is only faith in the wrong direction. When you believe those lies, you empower them. But when you speak against them, when you affirm abundance in the face of lack, you strip that voice of its authority. That is why affirmations are so critical. They are not just about speaking abundance. They are about silencing the critic within. Every time you declare, "I am wealthy, I am favored, I am chosen for increase," you are drowning out the whispers of lack. You are turning down the volume of fear and turning up the sound of faith. Eventually, the inner critic grows weaker until it is no longer able to influence your decisions. But hear me, silence does not happen automatically. You must make a choice every day, every night, to reject the language of lack. When fear says, "You'll never get out of this," you answer with, "I am already on my way out." When doubt says, "No one in your family has ever prospered," you respond, "I am the first and I will not be the last." When circumstances shout, "You don't have enough," you affirm boldly, "I always have more than enough." This is how you train your spirit to ignore the voice of lack. The more you practice this, the more confident your spirit becomes, and the less influence lack has over you. Soon, lack becomes a distant echo, while abundance becomes the dominant sound. And remember, whatever voice you listen to is the voice you obey. If you obey lack, you remain in cycles of scarcity. If you obey abundance, your life begins to multiply. So tonight, make this decision. Silence the voice of lack with the voice of faith, with the language of abundance, with the affirmations that align you with prosperity. Because only one voice will determine your destiny, and the choice of which one you allow is yours. But here's the question. Once the voice of lack is silenced and abundance is activated, how can one single night, one single word, one single shift completely change the trajectory of your financial destiny? That is the final revelation we are about to step into. One night, one word, one shift. That is all it takes to change the course of your financial destiny. Never underestimate the power of a single moment, because destiny is not always shaped by long years of effort. Sometimes it is shaped by a single decision, a single revelation, a single affirmation that enters your spirit and refuses to leave. One night of speaking the right words, one night of declaring abundance with conviction, one night of aligning your spirit with divine promises can set in motion a chain reaction that transforms everything about your life. Think about it. Breakthroughs don't always come gradually. Sometimes they come suddenly. One phone call, one opportunity, one door opening can change generations. But before that happens in the physical, it is already prepared in the spiritual. And the way you prepare it, the way you activate it, is through the words you release into the atmosphere. When your affirmations align with heaven, when your declarations are consistent, one night can break a cycle of poverty that lasted for decades. This is why you cannot treat any night as ordinary. Tonight could be the night where your affirmations collide with divine timing. Tonight could be the night where the right words spoken in faith release the breakthrough you have been waiting for. Tonight could be the night where one shift in your mind opens the floodgates of abundance in your life. And here is the truth. Your miracle doesn't take God years to prepare. It takes you aligning your mouth with your destiny. The shift begins the moment you choose to silence doubt and speak faith. The moment you decide to declare, I am wealthy, I am increasing, I am favored, is the moment your tomorrow begins to rearrange itself. It may look the same in the morning, but something in the unseen has already shifted, and soon it will manifest in the physical. So I ask you, what if this is your night? What if tonight is the night that alters the rest of your story? Will you speak the right words? Will you plant the right seeds? Will you dare to declare abundance with authority? Because sometimes all it takes is one night, one word, one shift to create a future beyond anything you've imagined. And so I say to you, let this be the night where you refuse to repeat the language of lack. Let this be the night where you command your spirit to align with abundance. Let this be the night where your words become contracts of wealth, written in faith and sealed in heaven. For one word can unlock one shift, and one shift can change everything. Tonight is not just another night. It is your night. It is your turning point. It is your divine appointment with abundance. And when you rise in the morning, rise with the expectation that everything has already begun to change.